Slap some bacon on a biscuit and let's go. We're burning daylight.
It's the world of strange. A world gone wacky.
Out here, due process is a bullet.
And some of the scariest people on the planet.
I think you're bluffing. Afraid. You know, you look mighty pretty when you get mad.
It's your odd news on KCHW.
Just sit back and enjoy the show.
Yes, we double dog dare you to sit back and enjoy the show. I think it's funny you were lip syncing to John Wayne, and I always do that too.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's just that, you know, you're pretty when you're, because I'm not pretty when I'm angry.
I always lip sync the out here due process is a bullet.
Yeah, I like that part too.
All right, so we had the big pumpkin lineup.
Yes.
Attempt for the Guinness Book World Records this past weekend on Saturday. 1,951 pumpkins. Another park in the United States went to the dogs in a grand way this past Saturday, hosting what was billed as the nation's largest Halloween dog parade.
I didn't know that you had to go for a world record on that. Is there that many of them?
Oh. It was hundreds of canines submitting to their owners' fanciful desires to see them in superhero costumes, or perhaps dressed as a dinosaur. Even one dog dressed as the Pope. Wow.
Is that the poop dog? I mean, the Pope dog?
Yes. Thousands of spectators lapped it up. Mingling with nearly 300 four-legged contestants around a stage in Manhattan's Tompkins Square Park. Every imaginable breed was paraded one by one to preen before the judges in hopes of the Best in Show award at the 25th annual outing.
Oh, wow.
It raises money for the park's dog run.
Oh, okay.
It's
Well,
so
that's
cute.
cute then, you know.
This year's winners, a trio of 2 Chihuahuas and a Yorkie, with a Day of the Dead zombie theme.
I love it.
Zombie Chihuahua. That's scary.
That is.
Cry havoc! And let's slip the dogs of war.
There you go.
Oh,
All right, that's fun.
that is funny.
Here's another fun one. Little Halloween.
Okay.
All right.
Good.
Police searching for a woman who is wearing a Beetlejuice costume. She damaged a car in a hit-and-run crash in southeast Atlanta over the weekend. A surveillance video shows the suspect's car nearly flipped when it hit a Mercedes parked on the street. Apparently, she'd been drinking. Video shows the driver getting out and inspecting the damage after the crash. A photo was taken by a neighbor shows that the woman was wearing a costume from the film Beetlejuice. Minutes later, 2 other costume men arrived, helped the driver push the woman's car off the parked Mercedes.
Well, you know how they could find her?
How?
Just go look in the mirror and go, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice.
I wish I had that sound effect. All right, so they got her car off the neighbor's car, and then she promptly left the scene of the accident in her Beetlejuice costume
There you go.
after driving over the top of a Mercedes.
I'd have left too.
That just sounds a little odd.
Things like that only happen in the movies, Robin. This is real life.
Oh. All right, here's one for hunting season. Another hunter's been shot by a dog stepping on a shotgun.
That'll teach you to give me anything but wet canned food from now on.
This time it was in Indiana when a woman was shot in the foot by her Labrador Retriever. And this would never happen if hunting dogs were made to undergo thorough background checks.
And take a hunter safety course.
The dog's name in this scary, scary incident?
Bullet?
Close. Trigger! His name was really Trigger.
Oh, awesome.
Hey, it doesn't get any better than this.
You're gonna get accidentally shot.
By your dog named Trigger. Wow.
Oh,
Wow.
That's what you get for naming a dog Trigger.
All right. As a rule, the rail lines don't want us on their tracks taking selfies.
Just as a general rule.
As a general rule. Don't
Okay.
stand on the train tracks and take a selfie. Situation is so bad overseas that Britain's Network Rail is pleading with residents to stop it immediately. It seems crossing camera captured 8 dangerous behavior incidents in a single day at the Matlock Bath Station. Why do they call their train station a bath station?
Isn't Bath the name of the town?
It could be.
Yeah.
Matlock Bath. All right, it could be.
Maybe.
The incidents include people taking selfies on the tracks, parents taking pictures of kids sitting on the tracks, and a group of people spending more than 8 minutes chatting while standing in the path of a train.
Good thing it was a slow-moving train, evidently.
Yes.
There's a force in the universe that makes things happen. And all you have to do is get in touch with it. Stop thinking. Let things happen. And be the ball.
Don't worry about the train coming up behind you. Just be the ball.
Just be the ball.
Okay, I got it now. Here's a man who sentenced 5 years in prison for smuggling millions of dollars of counterfeit poker chips into a professional tournament in Las Vegas. 5 years in prison for cheating in Las Vegas.
Yeah, that's interesting to me.
Doesn't seem very fair.
Ben Franklin is the devil.
That's right.
Well, I guess, in ancient days, you'd have just gotten shot.
Exactly. Exactly. All right.
Yeah.
Trix Rabbit being replaced.
No.
Yes.
No, say it isn't so.
It isn't so. Well, it is so. Sorry. Trix is getting rid of the rabbit. The brand decided to follow the current food trend and get rid of all of its artificial colors and flavors in exchange for real ingredients.
Okay, and...
Should we say real GMO ingredients?
Interesting.
Trix is looking to replace the fake rabbit with the real live bunny.
No.
Yes, this is totally true.
Has this been like market research done on this? Probably millions of dollars in market research to see. Oh.
And now Trix will be pellet-shaped.
Wasn't it always pellet-shaped?
No. They were little round balls.
Yeah, pellet-shaped.
Which reminds me of a joke my dad taught me when I was a little kid about the guy who goes to the drugstore and complains about being dumb. And the druggist says, I have some smart pills for you. You remember this joke,
I remember
Val?
now, yeah.
All right, he says, well, I'll buy a couple of those. He says, they're really expensive. And he says, I'll pay for it. So he takes a couple of them and pops them in. He says, hey, these taste like rabbit droppings. He says, see, you're getting smarter already. There you go.
Yep.
So apparently the people at Trix eating some smart pills.
So I wonder, are they going to be, are they going to color them with like real ingredients so they still are
It doesn't say if they will just be bland pellets or what. But yes, they are in fact changing the fake rabbit with a real live bunny.
I said, put the bunny back in the box.
Yes. Has a perfect sound effect for that.
Oh, exactly. It's like,
We want the fake bunny in the box, though.
yeah, I don't know. It's like replacing Captain Crunch with a real captain.
What's your name? Arrgh, I be the Captain Crunch.
I don't know.
It's my brittle bones when I walk. It sounds like they're crunching.
So Frosted Flakes with a real tiger?
Oh, that'd be great. There's a tiger in every box. Okay,
Okay.
All right.
Whatever.
I make my own sound effects. All right. Last one. Are you ready?
I don't know, because you've been laughing about this all morning, so I'm a little bit afraid.
I don't know if I can make it through this. But
He's
first,
already warned me
yes, be careful.
To self-censor myself.
Yes. Before we can do this one, a bit of time traveling involved.
Okay.
Okay.
Start your computations for time warp.
One ringy-dingy. Okay. Idaho agency has found historic footage of parachuting beavers.
Historic
footage of parachuting beavers. This is a real story. They're all real stories. Sometimes the last comment isn't, but they're all real stories.
Okay.
More than a half a century after a group of beavers parachuted into Idaho backcountry, officials have uncovered footage of the quirky wildlife management moment.
Wildlife management.
This is a story on the great 1950 beaver drop.
You even got your announcer voice.
Yes. The Idaho Department of Fish and Game was struggling with an overpopulation of beavers in some regions in the 1940s when wildlife managers settled on a novel idea. They captured beavers and other furry rodents, including badgers, packed them into special travel boxes, attached parachutes, and dropped them from a plane.
What, into somebody else's woods and make it their problem? Here you go, Montana.
It reminds me of the WKRP in Cincinnati show when Les Nessman drops the turkeys out of the airplane, and then after he gets in trouble says, I didn't know turkeys couldn't fly.
Well, you got to know beavers can't fly.
That's right. So they dropped them from a plane into the Frank Church River of No Return Wilderness. That's actually its name.
Because if you have a name like that, they'll never come back.
That's right.
No return.
That's right.
Okay, gotcha.
Animal lovers take heart. It appears all the beavers made it through their flying misadventures unharmed. I don't know how they proved that, but apparently they did.
It's the all-new Leave It to Beaver, starring Barbara Billingsley, Hugh Beaumont, Tony Dodd, and Clint Eastwood as the Beaver.
That's a new one. I didn't know Clint Eastwood played the beaver.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Really? We're going to drop...
There's more. Are you ready?
All right. I don't know if I can take any more.
Boise State Public Radio reported Thursday the film, made around 1950 and dubbed Fur for the Future, showed the infamous beaver drops, but it had long been lost.
I think that's something that, I wonder if you can find that on YouTube.
Yes, you can, Val. You can find anything on YouTube. In fact, Fish and Game historian Sharon Clark recently uncovered the fragile film, which had been mislabeled. I don't want to know what it was mislabeled as.
I do.
It doesn't say, so we'll leave that up to our imagination.
Shoot.
And stored in the wrong file. It has now been digitized and released on YouTube by the department and the Idaho Historical Society. So just simply go to YouTube and type in Idaho Historical Society Beaver Drop.
Beaver Drop.
And please wait till after the show.
Right. And make sure you put in that whole thing, Historical Idaho Beaver Drop, because if you just put Beaver Drop,
you never,
who
yes,
knows
that's
what
right.
you're going to get people.
All right. So, trapping and transplanting beavers still happens today, but in less dramatic fashion. I just can't believe somebody came up with, let's take these wild animals, attach parachutes, and drop them into the woods.
Into the something no return woods.
Yes.
Okay.
Steve Nadeau, Fish and Game statewide fur bearer manager, says we haven't done airplane drops for 50 years, but it apparently worked pretty well back then to reestablish them in remote places. The agency now moves beavers to the Ojai Desert in the state's southwest corner to help restore vegetation stripped away by years of watershed use. That's right. We're now leaving the Department of Ecology to beavers.
I want to know, what was that guy's title, though, again? The fur management?
Yes. Hi, I'm Steve Nadeau, Fish and Game statewide fur bearer manager.
Man, I wonder, that must be a pretty cush job.
Can you imagine, some 100 beavers and badgers and parachutes dropping into the woods?
Maybe we ought to turn on the searchlights now.
No. That's just what they'll be expecting us to do.
We don't want them to come back.
No.
All right. We're going to end it right there before we get in any more trouble. That's your odd news for...
It's Tuesday.
Badgers? Badgers? We don't need no stinking badgers!